Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, and today we are reviewing Marvel's Thunderbolts. Now, I did say I will review everything Marvel puts out from this year. It's been a while since Thunderbolts have come out, but I finally got around to watching it. And when I missed it when it came out, a lot of people were saying, this is a great movie, this is one of Marvel's best they've done so far. I think this is a good movie. I don't think it's the best they've done. I don't think it's the worst they've done. I definitely do think we're in an era where when a good movie comes out, because we've been fed so much shit, a good movie always becomes a great movie. Which I do think this is not a great movie. It's a good movie. And for Marvel, I think it was a decent movie. Now let's get into what is the Thunderbolts about, the plot. So essentially, the Thunderbolts is like a team of like misfit heroes that all have like bad backstories. Like, for example, Bucky, he's trying to become like I don't know what you call it, like a US senator or whatever. He's trying to be that, but he's not really getting too into it. But he's kind of like a bit of a side character. You get that chick, I can't remember where she's. I think she's from one of the Ant-Man movies. She like teleports. She can go invisible for like a minute or so, and she can go through walls and stuff. I can't remember what her name is, but I know in the series her name is Ava. Well, in Thunderbolts her name is Ava. I don't know what like hero is called. You got her, then you got Black Widow's sister, which again I keep forgetting her fucking name. You got Black Widow's sister. Then you've got the dad is there, which he also gets pulled in later on. And then you get the Wish Captain America, which obviously gets replaced from the new Captain America. He was supposed to be Captain America's replacement, but obviously he went a little cuckoo in the head, and he don't kill that boy on the street. So yeah, he got listed into this team. There's another character, but you don't have to go too cuckoos with that one, because that one doesn't really last that long. But anyway, and then there's Bob, who just no one knows where Bob came from. But yeah, those are essentially, that's the team of characters. The going more into depth with the plot. Essentially, is this team kind of like they all are like individually hired from this lady that's running like this kind of this, I don't know, government team, and then they essentially all get. She's basically under fire and she's getting impeached. So she needs to tie up all loose ends. So she gets all of them to essentially, she hires all of them to target the other one. And then the goal is to trap them inside this unit that she has, or this like building that she has. And then she's going to eliminate them. And then like, essentially what happens is they're not stupid. When they realize what's going on, they work together to try and escape. And then they find Bob. Who the fuck is Bob? Which it turns out they did like a bunch of experiments on people to try and get like the next like big superhero. That's what they were trying to make. And Bob was supposed to be dead, but somehow survived, and that means the tests worked. So Bob is essentially a really good superhero. Well, not a good superhero, but he's got like really good powers. Essentially what happens is when they escape, she's obviously trying to track everyone down. She does capture Bob while everyone else is escaping. Essentially that is kind of like the bad guy of the show. It's her and basically Bob, which Bob is Sentry. I don't really know much about Sentry in the Marvel like universe, so if anyone does know, let me down in the comments down below, because I don't know too much about Sentry. But she basically like suits him up, bigs him up, says he's the next big thing. But unfortunately, Bob has got like a bad past, and he has got like troubles with like bad thoughts and shit like that. So he lets they reference it in the show. He lets the darkness take over sometimes. And then when he comes back, he can't remember shit. And essentially that's kind of what happens here, is he lets the darkness kind of take over, because he gets a little ego driven when he realizes how strong he is. And that's what the Thunderbolts then come together, and then they decide, okay, well, they need to stop Bob, and then they get Bob on their side, blah blah blah. I am going to spoilers because this movie is fucking how long? This came out in fucking February. So if you haven't watched it now, oh come on. So yeah. Then they essentially they get Bob, they feed him or whatever, and then they become the new Avengers. That's kind of how the story kind of goes. The action was pretty decent. I liked the fighting. I liked the fact that the Thunderbolts wasn't like, they didn't just go in there and kick Sentry's ass like sometimes what they want to do. Like they made it very clear, like Sentry could kill all of you if he wanted to, but I think because Sentry has that like likeness for them, because they kind of like helped him. He doesn't really try to kill them, and he even says it when she orders. I can't remember the lady's name. I think it's Victoria. She orders them, sentries, to kill them, and he goes, "Why? There's no point in killing them. They're easy. I can deal with them easily. I don't need to kill them." And I think that's kind of when the darkness kind of like soups in. I do like the void thing that they did with the darkness. I think it's a pretty good twist. I do think this movie is very good with like setting everything up, because there's at the end there's like a little controversial thing now that's going to go on, where apparently there's going to be 2 Avenger teams. So that's a little crazy. It's going to be them. And then Captain America's obviously starting his own adventure team. So there's a whole like that whole thing is gonna loop. At the end of the movie, we do get to see a little teaser. A spaceship is coming down to Earth, and it's a Fantastic Four spaceship. Which I really want to watch that Fantastic Four movie now when it comes out. But yeah, essentially that's kind of the movie. I think I've covered everything. The action is pretty good. I think it flows very, very nicely. I think it's a good Marvel movie. I think Marvel did well with this movie. I'm praying that everything else goes smoothly. I'm still busy watching Ironheart, which I'll get a review out probably very soon after this. So I'm hoping Ironheart is at least decent also. We'll see, because that's the next thing that I'm going to review. So yeah, let's see. What would I give this out of 10? I think it's a 7 out of 10. I give a lot of 7 out of 10s over here, but things are very much okay. Like they're decent. I think this is a good movie. I think a 7 is a good score. I might even give it a 7.5. I'll give it a 7. I'll change it up. I'll give them a 7.5 because the action was pretty good. I think it flowed pretty nicely. For them to take like the projected characters, or the characters that are not very big in the Marvel, the MCU, and for them to make this kind of movie, which is a good movie, I think they did very well with it. So yeah, that's going to be my review for Marvel's Thunderbolts, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.